Hello everyone, Daria here, and welcome to episode number 96 of the Slow Russian Language Podcast. It's crazy that we're getting so close to episode 100. And when I started this podcast several years ago, I didn't even think that it could be something popular or something that I would do long term. And it turned out that this podcast changed my life completely. One day I will tell you a story about how exactly it changed my life, but now I am super grateful for everybody. I know that there are some people who are with me since day one, since the very first episode. Remember about Grandpa Frost, about winter in Russia, about Santa Claus. Oh, it's so embarrassing to listen to them now. Yeah, but I am so happy. I'm so happy that you are with me. And today, back to reality. Today, I've decided to give you an amazing poem. It's one of my absolute favorites. And when I was little, I remember my mom used to read it to me almost every evening because I asked her, let's read this one. And of course, I know it by heart, even today when I'm 32 years old. And now I am the mother who reads it to her children. Roman, my son, he loves this poem. And again, he knows it by heart too. So hopefully you will like it as well. Again, like in episode 25, we talked about Samuil Marshak, a Russian and Soviet poet. Today, too, it's his poem, and it is called What an Absent-Minded Man. It's a hilarious poem. Interesting, I found several English translations that actually rhyme. So one of them, listen. Once an absent-minded man lived at Poland Road 10. In the morning he awoke, set out to put on his shirt. For the shirt sleeve he instead slid his arm into his pants, something like that. The translation is not accurate, but at least it rhymes. So I will put it into the show notes, but in Russian, we will do a word-by-word translation, so you understand the vocabulary. And make sure you stand till the very end, because I have this poem for you with music and written by a professional actor. But now I read this in slow Russian. Sorry for such a long intro. I guess I haven't done this podcast for so long again that I just missed the opportunity to talk to you. Okay, first I'll read it in slow Russian, and then, as usual, we translate it sentence by sentence. Here we go. Самуил Маршак. Вот какой рассеянный. Жил человек рассеянный на улице Бассейной. Сел он утром на кровать. Стал рубашку надевать. В рукава просунул руки. Оказалось, это брюки. Вот какой рассеянный с улицы Бассейной. Надевать он стал пальто. Говорят ему, не то. Стал натягивать гамаши. Говорят ему, не ваши. Вот какой рассеянный с улицы Бассейной. Вместо шапки на ходу он надел сковороду. Вместо валенок перчатки натянул себе на пятки. Вот какой рассеянный с улицы Бассейной. Однажды на трамвае он ехал на вокзал и, двери открывая, вожатому сказал: «Глубокоуважаемый Вагоноуважатый, Вагоноуважаемый Глубокоуважатый, во что бы то ни стало, мне надо выходить. Нельзя ли у трамвала вокзай остановить?» вожатый удивился, трамвай остановился. Вот какой рассеянный с улицы Бассейной. Он отправился в буфет покупать себе билет, а потом помчался в кассу покупать бутылку кваса. Вот какой рассеянный с улицы Бассейной. Побежал он на перрон, влез в отцепленный вагон, внес узлы и чемоданы, рассовал их под диваны, сел в углу перед окном и заснул спокойным сном. «Это что за полустанок?» — закричал он с позаранок. А с платформы говорят: «Это город Ленинград». Он опять поспал немножко и опять взглянул в окошко. Увидал большой вокзал, удивился и сказал: «Это что за остановка? Балагое или Поповка?» А с платформы говорят: «Это город Ленинград». Он опять поспал немножко и опять взглянул в окошко. Увидал большой вокзал, потянулся и сказал: «Что за станция такая? Дибуны или Ямская?» А с платформы говорят: «Это город Ленинград». Закричал он: «Что за шутки? Еду я вторые сутки, а приехал я назад, а приехал в Ленинград. Вот какой рассеянный с улицы Бассейной». That was a long one, but this is a really cool poem. It was written in 1930. Such an old poem. So let's get to translation and read it sentence by sentence. The title is «Вот какой рассеянный». «Вот какой» means what an something something, or what a blah blah blah, like what a wonderful weather. Какая прекрасная погода, or вот какая прекрасная погода, or what an interesting book. Какая интересная книга. Absent-minded man would be какой рассеянный. Рассеянный means like harebrained, absent-minded, somebody who can't concentrate on stuff. So let's get to the poem. Жил человек рассеянный на улице Бассейной. So there lived a man, жил человек, past tense, рассеянный, absent-minded, on the street. Actually, it means like pool street. Бассейн in Russian is pool, right? Бассейн, бассейн. На улице Бассейной. So it's a pool street. And a little bit of personal story. When I lived in St. Petersburg, so I'm from Omsk, it's in Siberia, but I moved to St. Petersburg in 2006 to study at the university. And I was thrilled to go to that street because I was so much in love with this poem. And finally, I got the opportunity when my best friend Yulia was looking for a cat, and one of the ads said that they were giving away kittens on this very street, this pool street in St. Petersburg, улица Бассейная. So this is where this poem happened, and it was one of those, childhood memories moments for me when I actually saw the sign like Бассейная, улице, Pool Street in St. Petersburg. But St. Petersburg was called Leningrad back then in the 30s. But we're going to talk about it later in the poem when he says Leningrad, город Leningrad. So he lived in this street. Сел он утром на кровать. He sat down on his bed in the morning. And you see in Russian again the word order. Here we start with a verb, to sit. Сел, sat he in the morning on the bed. That's how we would say it in Russian. Сел он утром на кровать. Just remember that the word order in Russian is very flexible. Стал рубашку надевать. Began to put on his shirt. Рубашка is a long sleeve shirt, not a t-shirt. It's a long sleeve, like official shirt. В рукава просунул руки. So he put his arms into the sleeves. Просунул, совать, the infinitive совать, просовывать, просунуть, it's all the same verb. It means to kind of squeeze something somewhere. For example, there is some really narrow place, I don't know, you just open the door a tiny bit and you kind of try to squeeze your head there. We would say просунуть. So here he put his arms into the sleeves. Рукава, sleeves. В рукава просунул руки. It turned out that it's his trousers, his pants. Оказалось, это брюки. So when something turns out to be something else, we use this оказалось. So, for example, I thought it's 5 p.m., but it turned out to be 8 p.m. Я думал, что 5 часов, оказалось 8. It turned out to be 8. Оказалось. So he tried to put on a shirt. It turned out to be that he's squeezing his arms into his pants. Оказалось, это брюки. And then we have the line that is going to be repeated again and again. What an absent-minded man from the Pool Street. Вот какой рассеянный с улицы Бассейной. С улицы Бассейной. From the street named Pool Street. Бассейной. Okay, moving on. Надевать он стал пальто. He began to put on a coat. Coat. Пальто in Russian is a warm coat. Пальто. Надевать, put on. Again, you see the verb here goes first. Надевать он стал пальто. But they tell him it's not the right one. So maybe he took some wrong coat. Говорят ему не то. So they, I don't know, some mysterious they, maybe his neighbors are telling him, it's not yours, it's the wrong one. Говорят ему. You see, we drop the noun here, so we don't know who exactly is talking, but we have this plural verb, говорят. Стал натягивать гамаши. Гамаши is the, what's the word? It's not just pants. It's some other, wait a second, I will look up in another translation. Pants, blah, 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 gaiters. So he starts to pull on those gaiters, tries to put them on. Натягивать. Натягивать, it means when something is small, something's narrow, you are kind of trying to pull it up on yourself. Натягивать. Гамаши, those gaiter pants. Говорят ему не ваши. They say, it's not yours. Не ваши. Гамаши is plural. Не ваши. That's why we use plural form here. And again, what a narrow-minded man, absent-minded, I mean. What an absent-minded man from Бассейная street. Вот какой рассеянный с улицы Бассейной. Вместо шапки на ходу. Вместо means... Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you that the full text, again, it's in the show notes. So I encourage you, if you're listening with learning purposes, so if you want to increase your vocabulary and everything, open the show notes. It depends on your device, but there is always this episode description and the text is there. So it's very difficult to understand everything by listening only. So I encourage you to open the text and see the actual words I'm pronouncing. Okay, so вместо means instead of. Вместо шапки, instead of the hat, he put on the frying pan. So вместо шапки на ходу он надел сковороду. На ходу means while walking. So, for example, you're talking by phone and you're walking at the same time. You're going somewhere and you're talking. Говорить по телефону на ходу. Or you're going somewhere and you yell at someone. Кричать на ходу. So it means he's walking, ходит. So he's walking and instead of putting on a hat, he puts on a pan, frying pan. Надел сковороду. Сковорода or сковородка is a frying pan in Russian. Вместо валенок, again, instead of those Russian winter woolen boots, I don't know how to translate them in English, they're made out of wool. Let me try to find it. Yeah, I guess in English it's just translated as winter boots. Валенки, traditional Russian. Nobody wears them anymore, of course. So instead of them, he put on gloves. Вместо валенок перчатки, gloves. Натянул себе на пятки. Pulled on his heels. Пятка is a heel, part of a foot. Пятки, heels, plural. Okay, again, вот какой рассеянный с улицы Бассейной. Однажды на трамвае. One day he was in a tram car. Tram car, I don't know. It's not popular in many countries. In Russia, we still have them. Tram cars, they go on rails. So it's almost like a train, but it usually consists of just one car, maybe two. I've never seen more. Usually one or two. In Russian, we call it трамвай. Трамвай. So one day on a tram, однажды на трамвае он ехал на вокзал. He was going to the railway station, to the station, вокзал, вокзал. Don't forget that if you use any kind of transportation, and here it doesn't mean if you're driving it yourself or you're sitting there as a passenger, we use the verb ехать, ехать. So when you are going by foot, we say ходить. If it is any kind of a transport, train, bicycle, your own car, or a taxi, or a bus, trolley bus, anything, even a scooter, skateboard, even like those rolling, how do you call them? Rolling skates? I don't know. Ролики in Russian. We use the verb ехать, ехать. So, он ехал, past tense, ехал на вокзал. He's going to the station. И двери открывая and opening the doors, so we have this gerund here, открывая, while opening the doors at the same time, he told to the conductor. He said to the conductor, вожатому сказал. So there used to be conductors inside the trams and inside the buses, so there were people who were responsible for checking the tickets. And I guess in the 30s, they were also drivers, maybe. So because the driver will stop the tram car. Now, So he told to this вожатый, вожатому сказал. And then we have a play of words. So see, he's kind of playing around with words. Deeply respected, глубокоуважаемый. Deeply respected, глубокоуважаемый. Вагоноуважатый. So wagon is a tram car. Уважатый, вожатый is this driver/conductor. So deeply respected conductor. And then he turns it around. Вагоноуважаемый, like tram car respected, deeply conductor. Remember, he's absent-minded. He can't even pronounce those long words properly, so he confuses them. Во что бы то ни стало. It means, like without any hesitation, I must, no matter what. I would translate it as no matter what. Во что бы то ни стало. So no matter what happens, I must do something. And he says what he should do. Мне надо выходить. Выходить means to kind of get off this tram car, to get out. Во что бы то ни стало, мне надо выходить. So I must get out no matter what. Нельзя ли у трамвала вокзай остановить? Again, he's playing with words here, confusing the endings. He wants to say, would you please stop the tram at the station? But the endings are confused. Трамвала instead of вокзала. Вокзай instead of трамвай. So again, he just confuses the endings. Вожатый удивился. The conductor, the driver, is surprised, and the tram stopped. Трамвай остановился. Вот какой рассеянный с улицы Бассейной. Он отправился в буфет. He headed to the station cafeteria. Buffet is usually a little place with snacks at the station. Buffet, cafe. Отправился means пошел. Пошел. So he went there. He headed to this cafe. Покупать себе билет. To buy a ticket for himself. Train ticket. So he wants to go to the train. Покупать себе билет. Then he rushed towards the ticket office. А потом помчался в кассу. Помчаться, мчаться means to run really fast. Быстро бежать, мчаться. Он помчался в кассу. To buy a cup of kvass. Kvass is this Russian drink made of bread. Something like iced coffee, but a little sweet. Tastes really good. If you travel to Russia, try kvass. Or if you go to a local Russian store in your city, if you have one, try kvass. So again, you see he confused everything. He runs to the cafeteria, to the restaurant, basically, to buy a ticket. And he runs to the ticket office to buy a bottle of that drink. So he confused where he should go. Then he runs to the platform. Побежал он на перрон. Перрон is a platform next to the train. I guess in America trains are not very popular, but I'm sure you can imagine how it looks like. The platform where you get inside the train. And he got into a decoupled, I guess it's decoupled coach or car. So in the train, the cars are connected, and sometimes in the cities, they attach additional cars to the train. And sometimes they just stay there, so the trains goes away and the cars stay at the station if they are not needed. So he got inside of one of those dropped empty cars. Влез в отцепленный вагон. He brought his bags and sacks. Внес узлы и чемоданы. Чемодан is a travel bag. Узлы is those sacks, like a sack, you know, the kind of round ones you put all your clothes inside. Yeah, again, like bag. For example, Santa Claus is carrying it. Узел, да, узлы. That's how it looks. Рассовал их под диваны. Crammed them under the baggage racks. So he put them... in Russian trains, you put bags under the beds. So there where he put them. Под диваны. Сел в углу перед окном. So he sat in the corner in front of the window. В углу, in the corner, перед окном, in front of the window. And fell asleep. In a peaceful sleep. И заснул спокойным сном. So заснуть means to fall asleep. Заснул спокойным сном. And then he asked, what is this station? Что это что за полустанок? What is this station? Yelled he early. Закричал он спозаранок. Спозаранок means early, рано. But almost nobody uses this word, спозаранок, very rare word. So in the morning, he woke up and yelled, what is this station? And from the platform, they say, а с платформы говорят. This is Leningrad. Это город Ленинград. Это город Ленинград. Okay, where am I? Yeah, so Leningrad, it's a modern St. Petersburg. It's modern St. Petersburg city. And so after the revolution, the Bolshevik Revolution in 1917, there was a massive program of renaming cities, streets, squares. So Bolsheviks, they tried to erase all the memories of the Romanov family and the Tsarist Russia history. So a lot of cities were renamed after political leaders or Soviet writers and poets or like Soviet activists. So St. Petersburg, that was named after St. Peter and also after Peter the Great, together, the Russian emperor who actually founded St. Petersburg, right? It was named after Vladimir Lenin. Leningrad. The word grad is an old word from Old Russian for the word city. Город, grad. Today we say город, but before people used to say grad. So basically it means the city of Lenin, of Vladimir Lenin. Leningrad. Or Kaliningrad. That used to be Königsberg, German city that the Soviet Union took after World War II. Now it is Kaliningrad. So many cities like that. And one of the most famous one is Volgograd, that used to be called Stalingrad. So the city of Stalin, Joseph Stalin. Probably you know the Stalingrad battle from World War II, one of the most significant battles. Stalingrad. Today the city is called Volgograd. The most famous statue, the monument, Родина, Мать, motherland. Maybe you saw it. It's the woman raising a sword, kind of calling patriots to go to war. Anyways, back to... I get sidetracked so easily. Sorry. So, Leningrad, but it's the St. Petersburg. Это город Ленинград. So, back to the poem, he thought he was going inside the train, but this car stays at the station and he slept. He wakes up, tries to ask what station it is, and they say it's still Leningrad, so he didn't go anywhere. But he is an optimist, so he goes back to sleep. Он опять поспал немножко. So he slept a little bit more. Немножко means a little bit, a tiny bit. The synonym would be чуть-чуть. Немножко, чуть-чуть. So he slept a little bit и опять взглянул в окошко and looked into the window again. Взглянуть, actually, I wouldn't say it's to look. It's more like to glance. Взглянуть. Kind of fast look. Взглянуть. Окошко. He saw a big station, was surprised and said, увидал большой вокзал, удивился, sorry, I had to go to get a sip of water, удивился и сказал, what is this station? Oh, actually he says, what is this stop? Это что за остановка? Остановка is stop. For example, in English you say bus stop. In Russian we say автобусная остановка. So what stop is that? Балагое or Поповка. Those are stations between Petersburg and Moscow. So he thought he's traveling to Moscow, and that's why he's naming those stations. Балагое или Поповка. А с платформы говорят. Again, from the platform they say, this is Leningrad. Это город Ленинград. He went to sleep again. Он опять поспал немножко and looked at the window again. И опять взглянул в окошко. And again, he saw the big station, stretched a little bit, and said, увидал большой вокзал, потянулся, to stretch, тянуться, и сказал, and said, что за станция такая? What kind of station is that? What is the name of this station? Что за станция такая? Дибуны или Ямская? And from the platform, they say, it's Leningrad. А с платформы говорят, это город Ленинград. And he yelled, what kind of joke is that? Are you kidding me? I guess it's in English it's better to say, are you kidding? So закричал он, he yelled, что за шутки? Are you kidding? I am going for 2 days. Еду я вторые сутки. The word сутки means day and night together. So this 24 hours cycle, in Russian we say сутки. And I have come back. I have arrived to Leningrad again. А приехал я назад. А приехал в Ленинград. And again, what an absent-minded man from the Бассейной street. This is the end of the poem. So yeah, what an absent-minded man. Now, please don't go away because I have prepared an audio for you so you can enjoy it in real speed. And again, if you are not driving right now, please take your phone and open the show notes. Click on the name of the episode and open the text and try to read together with the narrator. And I guess that's it for today. Enjoy the audio. And thank you very much for listening. I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.
Жил человек рассеянный на улице Бассейной. Сел он утром на кровать, стал рубашку надевать, в рукава просунул руки, а оказалось, это брюки. От какой рассеянный с улицы Бассейной. Надевать он стал пальто. Говорят ему, не то. Стал натягивать гамаши. говорят ему: не ваши. Вот какой рассеянный с улицы Бассейной. Вместо шапки на ходу он надел сковороду. Вместо валенок перчатки натянул себе на пятки. От какой рассеянный с улицы Бассейной. Однажды на трамвае он ехал на вокзал и, двери открывая, вожатому сказал: глубокоуважаемый Вагоноуважатый, Вагоноуважаемый Глубокоуважатый, во что бы то ни стало, мне надо выходить. Нельзя ли у трамвала вокзай остановить? Вожатый удивился, трамвай остановился. Вот какой рассеянный с улицы Бассейной. Он отправился в буфет покупать себе билет, а потом помчался в кассу покупать бутылку квасу. Вот какой рассеянный с улицы Бассейной. Побежал он на перрон, влез в отцепленный вагон, внес узлы и чемоданы, рассовал их под диваны, сел в углу перед окном и заснул спокойным сном. «Это что за полустанок?» — закричал он с позаранок. А с платформы говорят: «Это город Ленинград». Он опять поспал немножко и опять взглянул в окошко, увидал большой вокзал, удивился и сказал: «Это что за остановка? Балагоя или Поповка?» А с платформы говорят: «Это город Ленинград». Он опять поспал немножко и опять взглянул в окошко, увидал большой вокзал, потянулся и сказал: «Что за станция такая? Дебуны или Ямская?» А с платформы говорят: «Это город Ленинград». Закричал он: «Что за шутки? Еду я вторые сутки, а приехал я назад, а приехал в Ленинград». Вот какой рассеянный с улицы Бассейной.